Hey everyone, Mike Hidalgo here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today, we're going to be changing the cabin air filter on this 99996 behind us. This job is going to be applicable to all 996 models as well as your 986 Boxers. In order to do this job, you're going to want to access the cowl section of the passenger side on the car, underneath the front or the hood, whatever you want to call it. And it's very simple. All you're going to do is remove a cover, and the filter is going to be exposed right there for you. Now, before we get started on this job, let's go over some of the tools you're going to need for this. For this job, you're going to need two tools, a ratchet and a T25 socket. I have a 1/4-inch drive ratchet here and a 1/4-inch T25 socket. We have one screw to remove from the cover that goes over the cabin air filter. Pretty simple. On this car, it's actually missing it, but we're still going to show you how to access it. Now that we've covered the tools, let's head over to the car and get started. My good people, thank you for joining me at the car today. Now, before we get started on this cabin air filter, we just want to note this is our first time inside this vehicle. So as you can see, it's super dusty, it's super dirty, which is just another reason why you should maintain your cabin air filter. If you'd like to learn more about what the cabin air filter actually does, please be sure to click the link above. Now, before we get started, it is important to note our car, as we said before, is new to us, so we are missing one of the Philister screws that hold this cover in place over here. But as you can see, we have one on the driver's side still, so your car will hopefully have both screws. Before you get to those, you want to remove your battery cover first. To remove the battery cover, you have two tabs that you must twist and unlock, and then you can simply lift and pull it out. Now, as mentioned, our car is missing the Philister screw that holds it in place, but normally you're going to want to use a T25 socket on a small wrench. Since ours is missing, we can simply pull it up and off, and you can see where our cabin air filter is located. As you can see, guys, there's a ton of debris in here that just finds its way underneath the cowl, which is just another reason why it's so important to make sure your cabin air filter is clean, as well as this general area. On this car, you're going to have your filter located right here, and if it's not been taken apart in the past, this clip that holds it in place. Ours is already a little bit off to the side, but nonetheless, it does not affect the performance. To remove it, simply lift it up and pull it out. Now, before we go ahead and install our new cabin air filter, we're going to go ahead and clean up this area. We're going to pull out the vacuum, remove the other cowl cover, and just make sure everything is nice and clean before reinstallation. Here's the T25 on the driver's side that we were missing on our passenger side. Oh, look at that. We have an exotic collection of berries in there. Now that we've done a quick and dirty cleanup on our cowl area, you can see there was a lot of debris in there. You know, over time, stuff like that's going to build up. So if you're on top of your cabin air filter maintenance, it'll give you a good window to check what the cowl area looks like. You want to make sure it stays clean. You do have drains there that rainwater will run down, or water when you wash the car. You don't want them to get clogged up. Otherwise, that's going to cause further issues. Now we've done all that, we're ready to install our cabin air filter. We have our old one here just to compare versus a new one. We're running the OE man filter. Now on our new one, we have arrows showing which way the airflow goes, so you know which way to install it. If your new filter doesn't have that, simply look at the old one and the way you pulled it out and try to match it up as best as possible. Pretty simple process. You just lift up this little foam flap like prior. Put it in right there, make sure that foam seal gets in place. And now that our filter's in place, unlike before where this wasn't attached, we can go ahead and put our clip back on. It's kind of just secondary in case you hit a big bump or something, you have something to keep it in place. Now that our air filter is installed, we can go ahead and reinstall our cowl covers. starting with the one that goes over the cabin air filter. Remember, these sit below the last cover, which is the battery cover. Make sure when you install them, these little guys find their way into the spots for them right here. You didn't think I was going to put them back dirty, did you? Hope not. Again, if your screw is not messed up like ours or missing, you need a T25 to put that in and take that in and out. And last but not least, your battery cover, same thing. This one's missing the lining tabs that it had in here, but it'll still lock into the channel here so that you know it's in the right place. Make sure your weather seal is not messed up. And just lock these pins back in. And that's that. And that's going to conclude this cabin air filter DIY on this 996. Again, the process is going to be similar for a 986 Boxster. Pretty straightforward job, very minimal toolage required, and something that's just very important to be done, you know? You want to make sure that the air that you're breathing inside the vehicle is just as clean as the air that's going through your engine. If you like what you saw, please be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the box below. And if you like what we did today, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, guys.